Hello everyone. Welcome to Straight Up by edX Live. This is lovely Majumdar, and we are going to talk about the verdict that had come out on the same-sex marriage by the Supreme Court. So, what does it mean for youngsters? And to decode this, we have Dr Niladri Chatterjee with us today, the Sexuality and Gender Studies professor from the Department of English, University of Kalyani, West Bengal.
I think in any case, I didn't have very high hopes because I knew that it would be actually legally quite tricky to actually just declare same-sex marriage as legal. So I think it would have been very difficult for the Supreme Court to do this in any way. And I really genuinely think that if it has to happen, then it is the Parliament that can do it. What
Yes.
I was hoping for is that short of granting, all the whole bouquet of rights for marriage, what I was hoping that the Supreme Court would do would be perhaps, give same-sex couples some rights. That is to say, if same-sex couples were, for example, allowed to open joint bank accounts, or if they could have put the other significant other as a nominee. In life insurance policy, hospital visitation rights. The verdict seems to have been exactly what I was dreading, is that now it's all up to the Parliament, and we know that this present government is not at all interested in doing anything about this. So this, the whole question has now been kicked indefinitely into the future, and we don't know how long this will take. I'm so sorry to say, but no, there isn't. I don't think there is any win over here. I think the overall verdict seems to be, it holds absolutely no promise at all, because the whole ball has been kicked into the field of the government. So therefore, I don't think there is any silver lining at all. Verdict states the obvious, which is that, a trans woman, for example, can marry a trans man, or a trans woman can marry a cis man. So, so those things were already, it was already there. So those parts of the verdict, it's just a case of stating the obvious. Nothing new, as far as I could gather. So therefore, I think as of now, for the foreseeable future, things are looking pretty bleak. And I'm hoping that, there will be a change of heart at some point in the distant future. Who knows, 10, 20 years later. But no immediate, hope, as far as I can see. I think the verdict is quite clear. Well, it's a 2-3 verdict. So therefore, there were two judges who basically said, including Chief Justice Chandrachud, who said that perhaps adoption could be made available to same-sex couples. But then the other 3 judges disagreed. Yeah. So therefore, so even that got shot down, as it were. So there is no hope for adoption as of now. This is nothing new. I mean, ever since the 2018 verdict, or even before that, you see, 2 men or 2 women could still live. The mere fact of living is absolutely fine. And there were lots of platitudes about, the police should make sure that they're not harassed or anything. But it doesn't, there is no legal, as it were, framework to ensure that same-sex couples are not harassed. That has not been. These are all recommendations. These are all directions that the Supreme Court gives. We have seen on previous occasions when the Supreme Court, even for the 2018 verdict, the Supreme Court had given lots and lots of very, very important suggestions and directions, including one in which they said that central and state governments should actively try to promote understanding about the ruling. And did any of the governments do anything about it? No. So therefore, the Supreme Court has done its job to say, these are the things that you should do. The government is absolutely going to ignore everything that the Supreme Court says. Even for a heterosexual couple, even if they're not married, there is still a certain kind of legal protection that they have. That legal protection is not made available to same-sex couples.
Yes.
So therefore, even if you're living together, well, you can, but the law will do nothing to protect you.